The great void. Many years later, facing a steaming cup of coffee, Luis would remember that distant afternoon when he read an article about dream exploration, a text that became embedded in his memory with the tenacity of a baobab seed, and which, over time, sprouted within his chest an ancient hope and an immense curiosity. He therefore decided to immerse himself in scientific studies, dusting off over 100 manuscripts that smelled of ink and time, giving free rein to his concerns like one who releases messenger pigeons. For the brain, in its transition from wakefulness to deep sleep, is an old alchemist, stirring in its cauldron memories, emotions, and sensations, selecting with a wise hand only those that speak of life, of survival, discarding mundane details like empty husks. It was in last night's twilight, in the viscous kingdom of sleep, that the visit came. A being of light so intense it seemed a piece of melted sun, radiating a peace as familiar to him as the aroma of rain in his childhood courtyard. There was no fear, only a sweet and ancient certainty. A hand made of clarity touched his shoulder, and a voice that tasted of honey and wind whispered in his ear, "Luis, wake up, come with me, hurry, for the portal can close at any moment." He reached for something to cover himself, but the voice added, "Do not worry. Where we are going, you will not be cold." And so, on that frontier where wakefulness becomes dream and dream becomes revelation, he began the journey, hand in hand with his celestial guide. His body underwent a transformation so prodigious, he could never have imagined it, not even in his boldest fables. With the first blink, they found themselves in the very womb of creation, in the intricate world of subatomic particles. "I hope it finally clicks for you now," said the being with a smile. Luis, embarrassed by his impertinence in asking, "Where are we?" heard the reply, "Pay attention, Luisito. Look around you." And then it showed him the building blocks of life, electrons dancing like drunk fireflies, quarks and gluons woven into an eternal dance. "Imagine an empty football stadium," said the being. "The nucleus is a marble in the center. The electrons are mosquitoes buzzing in the stands, and all that emptiness is the atom." Luis saw the molecules, those tiny cities, and knew he was seeing the foundations of the world. From there, the journey was a cosmic carnival. They passed through the realm of viruses and bacteria, those minimal spirits, and through the organs of all the Earth's creatures, a mosaic of pulsing life. Suddenly, without knowing how, they were passing Saturn's rings, which spun like a jeweled wheel of fire. He saw Pluto, a lonely pebble, and turning around, he contemplated the solar system in all its immensity, with its moons and comets like the entourage of a sleeping king. At a speed that took his breath away, they traversed the planetary and stellar kingdom, where worlds from 1,000 to 100,000 kilometers in diameter hung from gravitational threads. Complete solar systems, with their courts of asteroids and comets, paraded before his eyes like a troupe in the cosmos's sambadrome. "The interesting part is just beginning," announced the being, and Luis saw the nebulae, those astral nurseries where stars are born. The Helix Nebula, which was the last luminous sigh of a dying sun, the remnants of supernovae like the Crab, scattered like broken jewels on the velvet of space, and Betelgeuse, that red giant burning like a dragon's heart. They arrived at the galactic kingdom, where galaxies and dark matter shape the universe. He saw the Milky Way, his home, and Andromeda, its neighbor, dancing a slow dance of accretion. He saw interplanetary neighborhoods, immense clusters of dust, gases, and dark matter bound by gravity, forming superstructures like the Laniakea supercluster, the House of the Sky. And finally, the cosmic web, galactic walls and filaments stretching across billions of light years, forming the Sloan Great Wall, a structure so colossal it seemed like a scar on the skin of time. "What is all this?" asked Luis, breathless. "It is not the entire universe, but the part you can observe. There are about 2 trillion galaxies." "And is there a great barrier? An end?" The being looked at him with a smile that contained all melancholies. "If you traveled to the edge of what you can see, you would not find a wall, but more of the same. The barrier is not spatial, Luis. it is an edge of time. It is the place where physics ceases to function, governed by the same laws you observe on Earth. A place eternally hidden from you due to the finite speed of light and the accelerated expansion of the universe. Knowing that the time in his REM dream was limited, Luis formulated his final question. How long would it take for my mind to reach the end of everything? The being then, with the patience of one who has seen galaxies born and die, explained to him the 4 scenarios of the end, saying that if he sought a physical end, he was on an impossible exploration. The universe, to our best understanding, has no end. It is curved in such a way that the end is the beginning. Luis looked at him with incredulous eyes, and the being, understanding his gaze, smiled. Now, it has finally clicked for you. The cat's meow abruptly returned him to reality. His wife, still submerged in the mists of sleep, mumbled, "Could you make the coffee?" He rushed to the kitchen, not so much for the caffeine, but from the urgency to empty into his notebook the celebration of wonders he had just experienced. He took the pen with the certainty that night, when sleep reclaimed him, he would depart again. He wondered, with a hope that warmed his chest, if in the space between spaces, he might finally find his loved ones. I don't know why humanity insists on calling it the Great Void, when, in reality, it is a seedbed of life, and desperately searches for its origins when it is the everything.